Okay, before we continue, let me show you the new product that Caran has launched recently. Is a full blender bright for colored pencils and graphite pencils. It costs about $5.40 blenders in package. So it doesn't have any wood, it contains only of the blender of this material. And now let's sharpen it. It reminds me of clay, such material. Interesting. Yeah, like clay. So it's actually colorless blender. It won't change the colors, but let's see how it works over the drawn area. I'm just going over the drawn hair in the same direction that I did when I was drawing the hair. Well, actually what I can say here is that the drawn area becomes much darker, so you should use it really carefully. You see, it doesn't really make it much smoother. I wouldn't say that. I would rather say it makes it darker, much darker, much darker, which is something that I wouldn't want with my drawing if I have already drawn it, or when I decide that it's dark enough, I don't want to make it much darker. But of course sometimes it can be useful. Well, I don't know, I'm not really impressed. It doesn't help actually, but look, if you can afford, you should definitely buy this and try it for yourself. I am not going to use it I will have to try to test it with colored pencils, which I don't think that I will be using. Okay, and I have this colorless blender, wax colorless blender by Prismacolor that I often use with color pencils when I draw animals and then I want to make the fur appear fluffy, and it's really helpful. But I haven't tried this over the graphite, so let's make some comparison. What it also it makes the area darker, but as you can see it's smoother, so it's kind of better. Yeah, so yeah, so actually old but gold. This is still my favorite. I don't really like to use this over the graphite pencils because you see that it makes it too dark. But yeah, this is smooth, absolutely smooth. Well, in this case of this hair, I don't really want to make it smooth because I want the hair to be visible. It's just for the sake of comparison. Yeah, it actually eliminated all those white dots of the paper, so I don't know. You should definitely try this for yourself. I really don't want to say that you shouldn't use this new blender by Caran, but I'm not impressed. Okay, so here you can see on the left side my drawing, part of the drawing without blenders. In the middle you can see the same part blended with full blender bright by Caran, and you can see it's pretty darker, but the white dots of the paper are still pretty visible. It's a 400 dpi scan. I scanned it for you to see the details. And on the right side you can see the part of the hair blended with a wax colorless blender by Prismacolor, and it's very smooth. It's actually too smooth. So this blender actually has eliminated all those annoying white dots of the paper, and it's really useful sometimes. And I have tried it over the skin on my old drawing. Here you can see in the left side before I applied this blender by Caran, and on the right side you can see after I have applied, so it made it too dark and it's smudged and it's not actually smooth anymore. So it's a big no-no for the skin. Well, actually in this tutorial I'm not going to use any blender. We're going to blend with the pencil and with the tissue. So as I mentioned, if you can afford, you just buy and try for yourself. Anyway, I really love their colored pencils, luminance, so I really can't say anything bad about this brand, but this didn't pass my test.